Welcome back to Caius Schools. I'm David, the Schools Liaison Officer here at Caius, and welcome to the last video in our series on what happens after your interview.
I'm going to let you finish, David, but we had some audio problems here, so the radio mics we used weren't working, which offers me an opportunity to test out my lip-syncing skills. So here goes. Today we're going to be reflecting on the decision, the point in the process where you discover the outcome of your application. This arrives in January.
So as I record, that is just a few days away. Later in this video, you'll be hearing from one of our key students, but for now, a little bit more information about what can happen in the decision letter. You'll be hearing one of two things. One, you've been made an offer. Congratulations. This will usually be dependent on performance in summer exams at A-level. You'll be hearing either directly from the college you applied to or a completely new college. If this is you, you've been pulled, so you might want to check our earlier video on the winter pool. The second thing is unfortunately not being made an offer. This is very common, as only 1 in 6 applicants are made an offer every year. It is important to remember that you are unsuccessful not necessarily because in the eyes of the college or Cambridge that you're not good enough. It is simply because in that year there were deemed to be other stronger applicants. If you're not made an offer but you meet certain eligibility criteria under widening participation factors, your decision letter might mention something called the August reconsideration process. This simply means you may be offered the chance to be reconsidered later in the year, depending on your A-level results. There is plenty more information about this if you follow the link in the description to the university website, where you can read all about these eligibility criteria, and we will also be producing a video later on in the year to tell you more. But for now, I'm going to hand over to Daisy, one of our undergraduates here at Caius, who has her own story to tell about the January decision letter.
Hi, I'm Daisy. I'm a first year, 4-year classicist here at Caius. I originally applied to Newnham in 2019, so that would have been the 2020 admission cycle, I think. I was always torn between, like, deciding in college was always a bit tough for me. I was always torn between Caius and Newnham. Eventually, it was I had a bit of an argument with my dad about it, and we both decided I'd go for Newnham. I really like Newnham, still really like Newnham, no grudges held. But I applied and got rejected post winter pooling. And I found out in January. Then I took a year out and did an art foundation, like over my year out. And whilst I was doing that art foundation, I then reapplied to Caius because I was like, I've got to apply for Caius this time. It was the only other option, right? So I did that over my year out, and then luckily at the end of it, got in, and now I'm here at Cambridge. When I got rejected, I had an offer from Durham, and I was gonna, so I firmed them, but I always had Cambridge in the back of my mind, obviously. Like, so when I got rejected, I was obviously really upset, but then there was also the sense of, oh my gosh, there is, the world doesn't come to an end when you get rejected from Cambridge. And I was fully, it took me about like 2 days sort of thing, and I was like fully okay, I've got rejected, right, let's move on, let's go. But then it was kind of like COVID was happening at the same time. We were just going into lockdown. Literally, I think 2 months after I got rejected, we went into national lockdown. And I was just thinking about, well, what do I want to do here? Like, this is year out, it's going to give me an opportunity to just think about and take a step back, take my feet off the pedal, and sort of think about what I want to do next. And really, it was my A-levels. Like, I kind of just thought, right, it's all resting on my A-levels. I'll see if I get really good grades in my A-levels, I'll take a year out. I mean, at that point, to be honest, had I got lower A-levels than what I did, I probably would have reapplied anyway. Just because I kind of thought, right, I can either go to Durham first year and be completely resentful of the fact that I could have taken a year out and possibly reapplied, or I could take the gap year, rescind my UCAS application. That was terrifying. Rescind my UCAS application, do an art foundation for a year, which I'd wanted to do anyway. Even though it's not really leading on to my degree, it's something I wanted to do, and I just thought this would be a good opportunity to do it. Like, do the art foundation over the year out, and then apply to Caius, fingers crossed. And to be honest, like just having I didn't want to take a year out solely with the intention of applying to Cambridge, like because then if I got rejected a second time, it would have just been devastating. Because I would have had this year out with like nothing to show for it. So I think doing the art foundation was a really good thing for me, because I just thought, right, if anything, I've got something to show for this year out. Like even if I do if I do get rejected a second time, I've got something to show for the year out that I've taken to do this. I really wanted to give Cambridge another go. Like I didn't want to spend the rest of my life thinking, what if, what if I reapplied? I noticed amongst my friends, there are kind of two reactions to getting rejected. It was either A, oh, it's fine. And, I would just kind of, threw my hat into the ring to see what would happen. It's all good. And those people I envy, okay, because I was one of the other set of people who attached my entire self-worth into getting into Cambridge. So when I got rejected, it was like, okay, what do I do now? And I remember it was the sort of hour after I got rejected, it was really awful. I felt so awful. Especially because like some of my friends had got in. I just felt like devastated. But honestly, there was this overriding feeling of, oh my God, the universe hasn't caved in. My house hasn't fallen down around me. The world carries on, like post rejection, and no matter what you decide to do next, it really isn't the end of the world. Like I thought the entire universe would come. I hadn't even considered it as a possibility. I thought the universe would come crumbling down if I got rejected from Cambridge. So when I did, it was kind of like, oh, this weird feeling of everything is actually fine. And I think give yourself like a day, just to put everything into perspective, just to like think about everything, and you'll feel like, honestly, it's one of those things that it feels awful, but then it like disappears really quickly. Obviously it's kind of like, it still sucks getting rejected. It's still an awful feeling. But just that feeling, like I wish, like if I could go back in time and like tell myself something, I would have just said, look, life has not ended. Everything is still fine. And also, if you're really, really married to the idea of Oxbridge, you can reapply. I just, have a think about that, because I didn't even consider that an option when I got rejected. I was like, right, okay, the Cambridge dream is dead. No, it's not. Like if you really are passionate about coming here, and like you really want to come here, and I would give it like a week personally before you make any decisions on your application, because obviously it's a big process and it's a big thing to commit to. Give it like a week and then wait till A-level results day, because that's what I did, and that's really what helped solidify my decision to reapply post rejection. And I think if you have like something that like if you have a backup plan, you think, right, getting into like it's a real possibility I'm going to get rejected from Cambridge. Do I have like a backup plan? What am I going to do in the like if that happens, what are my immediate plans for the future? And just think about that, because then like I wish I'd done that so badly, because if I'd sort of thought to myself rationally, right, okay, there's a very realistic chance I'm going to get rejected from Cambridge. What do I want to do? Like, do I want to take the year out? Do I want to reapply? Do I just want to go straight to university? Like, if I had those things ticking away in my head, I think I would have felt so much better post rejection. So final thoughts is like, obviously getting rejected is awful, and like it's a really awful feeling. But like, honestly, the world does not come crashing down. I mean, for me personally, I was really devastated after I got rejected, but then like you kind of give yourself some time and you realize, okay, the universe hasn't collapsed in on itself. I have options here. What do I want to do? And it's just that realization that there is life beyond getting rejected that I think is really key. And if I could go back in time and like tell myself one thing, that would be it.
That's all for now. If you are waiting to hear the outcome of your application, all the best of luck from us at Keys, and we'll see you on the next video. Please remember to like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. On the decided, I looked down to.
You just look like a YouTuber. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like you'll be hearing one of two things. Wolf, not the Queen. One Wolf, the corgis. Hiya. I'm famous.
Don't fuck it up.
Oh. Too late for that. You're being very generous, but I can't do that again.